Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of MTG Arena Run. Today we are now doing the older brother half of the Brothers Brawl. This one is Urza's Army. So, as I mentioned before in the previous video, Mishra is mostly black-red. So here we're gonna get white. We're gonna get white, blue, and green. We also got some white-red with Queen Caleb and Krug. We'll actually, as usual, we'll start with the two non-Urza guys. Then we'll go with uncommon Urza, rare Urza, and then finally meld Urza. Now I noted last time that meld Urza was what I felt was really overplayed. Townless is actually a pretty surprising pick there. Let's hope that we can get some good things going. But first we'll explore Queen Kayla. Why not? And let's see. So for those who don't know, Queen Caleb and Krug tried to make her work one time in a draft. It never really panned out because the cards never lined up. But the main idea is she allows you to discard all the cards in your hand and draw that many cards. But don't worry about the discard because you can choose an artifact or creature card with mana value 1, 2, and 3 and return those cards to the battlefield. So if you're able to get all 3, you kind of got a 6 mana discount on 3 permanents. Most likely you're gonna get 5. And as you can see, deck is kind of stacked on 1, 2s, and 3 drops. We do have a few interesting 4 drops like Sarah Paragon's a way to get stuff back. Teshar also gets cards back, so we are sensing a team. Inquisitor Captain really also working this one out. A few interesting smaller cards, but this should be a relatively fast deck. Let's see how this one pans out. We will start with Queen Kayla first. Now, kind of doing this at the time when I don't really need to be playing out the rest of my matches for the day, but I might as well do it. We're going to be seeing Mishra's face for the most part. And looks like, we're up against the Gix deck. I mentioned that Gix is actually a pretty solid addition there. We are missing another land. We kind of want to hit that other land. But otherwise, we can lead off on everyone's favorite play, turn 2 Luminarch Aspirant. But we most likely will do turn 2 Lizard Blades. And no surprise, Shadowborn Apostle turn 1. We actually hit an access tunnel, so that will give us Queen Kayla turn. That will give us Queen Kayla turn 3. Shadow, and we're not surprised here. Now our opponent could easily do the triple play. We don't exactly have removal here. Also note that if we land Queen Kayla, we're still missing 1 land, so that's something to keep in mind. I will start with Lizard Blades first because we want to be able to swing with Lizard Blades. Let's see, do we have this trifecta? Do we have all 6 Shadowborn Apostles? No, opponent going Gix. So opponent is going to draw 2 cards. This is actually how I played it out last time as well. So this is pretty much how they refill. Our main plan now is to hope to land removal, but if not, we could always land Queen Kayla. And hope to go really big from there. Now note that it's a 2-drop into a 3-drop. We don't have a 1-drop on us, but that might be fine. Now this all goes to whack if it turns out our opponent does have removal for Queen Kayla. We would have wasted a turn for the most part. So this is 4 mana. Discard all the cards in your hand. So this is also another issue. If we discard all the cards in our hand, what are we getting back? If we hit removal, we probably would land removal first. Our opponent might. I was gonna say that our opponent. I remember that the deck had some ways to take advantage. No, not really. They might have a few removal spells here though. So our alternate plan might actually even be just run out some of these other cards first. Like we could run out the Horn of Valhalla if we're not in a hurry. Like if we want to plan out our actual discard all cards in our hand. That said, I'm relatively fine discarding Intrepid Adversary. So I'm okay with discarding these two because I'm... Oh, never mind. That plan kind of failed, but that's actually fine. So let's see. Takasha's Welcome. Not quite working here. We could do Restoration, get us a Plains. Some interesting choices here. Gonna do Horn of Valhalla for now. We will most likely do Restoration Aspirant next turn if we hit our land. Actually, no, even if we don't hit our land, it's gonna be Restoration Aspirant. An argument could be made for just Intrepid Adversary, stacking things up a little bit. We can kind of just chump block with one token. Unless barring removal, we can pretty much prevent our opponent from drawing a card on this turn at least. Takasha. I like the idea with Takasha's Welcome. But yeah, we probably have to play Restoration, draw into Luminarch Aspirant, start stacking up our Lizard Blades a little bit. The next turn, we could say we don't have any permanents in our yard, so that might also be a consideration as well. I'm actually more surprised. Okay, opponent did Okay, opponent is going for a card draw. Yeah. Now they don't have the black echoing spell to get all these cards back. They do have one Return of the Draugr, so they can get some back. Okay, opponent's gonna draw cards the other way. I kind of want to empty our hand a little bit first, though. So also hitting some of these planes as well. We don't have to play it because we can actually just pitch it depending on the situation. So now our opponent... So... with this situation, we can do Takasha's Welcome into Mentor of the Meek. Yeah, we're kind of missing out on this one right now, but opponent does the Gix's command. Nice. Well, it's expected. It's Gix after all. I would be surprised if they didn't land their command here. But now we have the option, like we can now pitch, okay. This is a 2-drop, so I actually want to pitch this one since I don't see any artifacts in question. Then let's get back Luminarch Aspirant. The ETB's tapped, but that's fine. So we're gonna kind of run things out a bit here. Opponent gave up. They've only played 5. They do have 40 of these Apostles in the entire deck. We might also want to consider Skyclave Apparition taking out one of the other problem cards, most likely, like say Phyrexian Arena. We don't necessarily need Mentor of the Meek. Well, we can really draw into a lot of cards this way. It's actually quite tempting to just replay Queen Kayla. See, hope that sticks the landing. Okay, so we lose 2 lands. Okay, not the horn. Kabir takedown. They can cast that for... But you have to cast it now. They have a Sigardan Evangel. So most likely takedown to takedown. Ooh, good stacking. Good stacking. And it's really annoying that they hit our Sigardan Savior there. So we're not going to be able to take this out. We will have to exile Gix just to prevent this from happening again. But when I was actually playing this with the Mishra deck, this activate ability never came to mind because we didn't have that many cards. And what did our opponent pitch? Pretty much called the Death Dweller and a bunch of Shadowborn Apostles. So this was actually going to be quite brutal. I probably don't think we're going to win this particular match. We need... some of the commanders have this problem with being way too fiddly, and this one is one of them. If I were to patch up... Yeah, they have to... Oh wait, I already drew the card off that, but that's fine. We're mostly gonna take out Gix. Yeah, they get to recast it, but that's their choice. And might as well pay 1 draw card. Lore Hold Command. But yeah, we might actually die to our own Sigardan Savior. Thanks a lot, Gix. But I already knew in advance that Gix is going to be one of the more powerful Praetors to play. Yeah, Queen Kayla actually works well if you have the time to play with it. More often than not, if there is interaction at the right time, it kind of ruins it. Take note, our opponent literally just, well, they did play 2 pieces of interaction. So they'll most likely draw a card off the... Okay, they're going to draw a card off this one. We could chump block with the Aspirant to limit the card draw to 1, which I probably want to do. Guiltree, that we might have to play Lorehold Command just to reset Gix again. And we could, if nothing happens to the token, we can actually just sack it to draw 2 cards. Opponent's just gonna sack 1 to draw 2 cards of their own. We could also try to take out the Sigardan Savior, but I don't want to give our opponent another shot. Now that they have 6 cards in hand, we need to delay that one also. You had the Traven Inspector. Queen Kayla would have been good if she was still there. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. So we Lorehold Command, sack a token most likely. Elspeth Resplendent. Probably want to give flying as an option eventually. So I could also just create a spirit token as well. we don't necessarily need the 2 cards right now. I kind of wish the token had flying, but that's not gonna happen. Hold on, they're at 15 life. Oh wait. Target player. Okay, it's just double checking what the modes do. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Our opponent could actually just take all this damage. We actually will probably pay this one since we have the Traven Inspector anyway. Has Indestructible. Our opponent probably was better off blocking the Architect. We will play another creature though, just to... There you go. Just keep drawing them cards for now. Unfortunately, Giant Killer not gonna hit Sigurd and Savior. We did get a good enough Mass Strike. Also, our opponent's probably gonna be forced to play a lot of small creatures. Our plan might actually be to go Elspeth Resplendent, give flying. Opponent has Bells and Lock. Ooh, that might be a... Oh wait, no! We have Giant Killer. Let's see what they're two. Raise the Draugr, not so much. So if our opponent gets greedy and swings, actually, even if they don't, we still win. We have the Giant Killer for this. I think our opponent is going Raise the Draugr though. Yeah, they're just raising the Draugr a bit too... Like, they might have one more land. They won't be able to play Evangel, but they will be able to play Shadowborn Apostle. It's also interesting to note that... Oh, this is a Conjured card. Okay, so... Oh yeah, that's right. Because the first one you play is normal. The next... Then everything else is Conjured. Shadowborn Apostle, sure. Good game. I agree, it's a good game. There you go. We actually survived it. Actually, it was a good game anyway, even if we didn't have the removal spell. But we might as well have showed it. I think our opponent wanted to have more apostles to swing on the sides. Or at least to be even more chump fodder, but it didn't quite pan out. So we only won that one because, well, think of it this way. Our opponent messed up our game plan by having timely removal for our Queen Kayla. We kind of messed up their game plan by having enough removal for their Gix back to back to back. That's kind of what's going to count here. Without those pieces of removal, it's going to be very hard to justify that win. Anyway, enough of Queen Kayla. Let's now go Thanos, the Toy Maker. So this one is the one I usually saw, and it's actually quite solid. 3/5. The toughness is generally high enough, and if I'm not mistaken, almost every creature is either a bird or a beast. There are a few exceptions. Usually because they need to ramp or whatnot. Yeah, that's a good ramp. That's a Jellyfish, Hydra, Beast, Bird, Zombie, Bird, Bird, Beast, Beast, Shapeshift, Bird, Bird. Imbraham is a bird. Most likely gonna... Okay, it's mostly a birds and the beast deck. It does feel a bit all over the place, though it is a very good shapeshifter deck. I will note Guardian Project is good on its own. It does not work with Thanos, but hey, you can't have it all. We'll definitely go Thanos the Toy Maker here. We'll see. Let's see if we can get a solid win on this one. We're going to be publishing these videos quite back to back. Woo! Should put this aside. Interesting. Also, the timing is decent. We're able to start having games for the most part. There was a bit of an outage a while ago in Arena. Let's see. Taunos is 5 to cast. We kind of need more lands here. This is really sketchy, even with like Bloodline Pretender turn 3. I'm gonna go for a mulligan here. So we can at least play the Kian. Our opponent is playing Ashnod Flesh Mechanist, so they... Yeah, Ashnod does have the benefit of being really cheap as a commander. In my last game, I was able to cast Ashnod like like 4. I think there was a point I was the commander tax got to the point where I was like paying 9 mana for 7 mana for Ashnod. I think I had one chance to pay for 9 mana, but at that point the game was really over. It was over for me at least. Opponent does have the good combo here. Now take note that Ashnod is a very fiddly deck, but it is a very combo centric deck. Our opponent could go for the... Yeah, generally I would not, because Blood Artist is one of the key cards. It's not like we have a Zulaport Cutthroat. Just gonna play Kian. We might use her as a blocker. If not, we can always do Ravenous Pursuit. There is sometimes the weird case where like you don't feel so good keeping the... Ooh, now this is very interesting. Oh, they have the combo. They're just missing the mana to pay for this or this. If our opponent swings with Ashnod, I will actually block. Okay, they did not. So Primeval Bounty. So this is getting more into the realm of expensive. Now I could just exile the top. Now I probably would just hold back, exile the top card. I don't see... I could swing for some damage. Yeah, maybe I should. I'll just swing for some damage. Let's just get a little parity going. Opponent also left Ashnod in the yard, so that is an interesting choice. There are ways to get Ashnod back. There is Blood for Bones. There are a few reanimation style spells. There might also be a misunderstanding that if you want this trigger... No, it will land in the graveyard. You just need to make sure you send it to the command zone. You can still send it to the command zone afterwards. Now, it's 2 mana to create a colorless servo artifact. Yeah, you don't have a servo yet, so you're not going into top tier space. Opponent goes for a Theomancer. So opponent is going to start getting Death Touch Snakes. We will play Taunos next turn. Opponent will not be able to sacrifice it quite yet. We do hit Sky Shroud Ambush, so when the creature you control wins the fight, draw a card. So I could... We will do Taunos right away. We also have a Primeval Bounty on standby as well. Let's get an island. No point swinging Kian. They just block with the snake, and then they get another snake on. They'll get another snake anyway. I'm really thinking about Primeval Bounty here. This one is like we have plenty. Like this is a huge setup card. Ideally, I would want to at least play Tragtusk first, and I probably will if our opponent does not have. If our opponent doesn't remove Taunos. If our opponent goes for Taunos, I probably will just play Primeval Bounty instead. Opponent sending the Opheomancer. No, yeah, I would not send the Opheomancer. That makes no sense at all. Okay, this is the grindy engine plan. Also note that has 2 or more artifacts already, so they can actually sacrifice this, say, if they want to get rid of Taunos. Now this is a cast trigger, so if an opponent doesn't decide to kill Taunos now, I will snap cast Tragtusk. Nope, going for the deadly dispute, so yeah, we'll exile a card. And that was a Bloodline Pretender, not the worst one to lose. Opponent could sack this one if they want to keep draining us. Now, again, because of the threat of underhanded designs, we also have the Sky Shroud Ambush as an option. But we will just do Tragtusk Boost instead. Yeah, let's get our value from Taunos as soon as possible. I am willing to nah, it's still not worth the swing there. Primeval Bounty is still a plan. We don't have to Sky Shroud Ambush anything anyway, as of the moment. I think our opponent might end up sacrificing underhanded to get rid of Taunos now, which... Oh no, they're gunning for the Tragtusk. Okay. I will note that even after all the drain, well, we did gain 10 life off double Tragtusk. So our first plan is, so when we have time, we definitely will Sky Shroud Ambush Bloodline Artist. Also note that we can make, right now it's just a 5 mana for a 1/1, so that's not quite worth it. Hangerback Walker. Okay. This one might be a problem. That might be a good Sky Shroud Ambush target. I will note that we can Primeval Bounty, then Sky Shroud Ambush. No, we'll take the hit. That's us. It's a land, we will draw it. Draw another one. So Primeval Bounty first. Place. So target creature I control fights target creature I don't control. We have plenty of options here. Hangerback Walker is going to keep growing. That becomes a problem. The Blood Artist is actually the real problem. We'll snipe Blood Artist. And you get to put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature we control. Yeah, I believe the beast was there for quite some time. Actually, no, we'll put it on the other bird. We do get to draw a card too, so that's... Might as well send some of these other guys too. Opponent might start tapping to pump this, but they do need to have... This is a construct, so this does not fit the chain anywhere. They will need another way to sacrifice this guy. But now they're making top dirt because we now have a flying threat. Also note that we can't swing on the ground because they do have an instant 4/4. Staff of Domination. Ooh, that is a problem. Being able to tap out certain creatures would be an issue. Well, they're just using a gain life right now, so not the worst. We're gonna keep losing life to this snake. nothing we can really do about it. But it's better than giving them the engine piece. But did we exile? Applied Biomancy, so we have a 2 and a 3. Might as well play the Tornwood Falls. So we can make 2/2s, and this is only uncast, so no dice there. Now this is tapped out, so we actually can swing. I am going to offer the Tragtusk. Nope, opponent does not take the offer. Also note that this does not require us to tap to make fractals, so we're probably gonna start doing that. If our opponent doesn't convert into 4/4 constructs quite yet, we should be. Opponent might actually start drawing cards off Castle Lockwing, even if it hurts them. They might also they could just pump this to 3 and start swinging Access Tunnel. Opponent gonna start drawing into zombies, so that is another issue here. We need to start drawing into better cards. Also, many apologies for the construction going outside. I actually should close the window. Okay, maybe that would ease the sound a bit. Though we know our opponent is out of mana at this point. Yeah, I should have closed the window earlier. What was I thinking? Sometimes I can mentally drown out the noise, so many apologies on that one. Opponent is gonna convert, but not provide the blocker for themselves. So we do have at least one free shot with our goose. Let's exile one more card. Make a token. Kelpie Guide, so that's just still a 2/2. We can crack this food token, but we might as well actually make a food token. So we have a okay. Choose a creature card in your hand against flying. We don't have enough creature cards for this. So no card draw here. This one's a bit late, but more flyers is better. More beast is better too. We definitely will copy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are not gonna swing on the ground because there is no incentive for us to do that. I expect our opponent to start converting these into flyers again. Looks like our opponent is actually quite. They might start spending 5 mana to draw cards now. Heartless Act on the Toymaker. But that is kind of their last card, so. Trying to see what they could draw into. Also, it's 3 mana. They can untap a creature, though I don't think they'll have enough mana to tap for Hanger back then untap. They might have enough zombies to start drawing cards also, so this is a bit of a race. Oh no, they pitched that? Things must be really desperate if they're pitching that for. Well, they can still draw. Okay, we got a command tower, so use Taunos for the time being. Opponent going. We will block. We will. Yeah, opponent gave up here. We simply got too much. It was literally just the Tractus, the Gilded Goose, and the Mentor of Eva's Al that gave us value. Though we got some extra value from from having a token generator. The Primeval Bounty was extra value as well. So Taunos definitely deserves his place in the Pantheon. Queen Kayla, I would say we won that by the skin of our teeth. Not exactly the best showing. But anyway, let's now go to Uncommon Urza. So this is Urza Power Stone Prodigy. Vigilance, 1 mana, draw a card and discard a card. And whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, you create a tap Power Stone token. So you get Power Stones instead of getting the fast mana from Mishra. Let's see. Now, blue is not necessarily a madness color, so we're really going to be discarding artifacts. It's really going to be about big ramp. We notice that a lot of our spells are quite expensive here. Also, a lot of incidental artifacts that we're okay with discarding. We never got Urza to run really well, Mishra to run well that time, but we kind of have some hopes for Urza. Maybe he really is a Power Stone Prodigy. So turn to turn to Arcane Signet. So right now it's just about getting all the getting as many artifacts down to get the Thought Monitor, draw some cards again. I am tempted to, if we don't need the mana, I am tempted to just pitch the Astral Cornucopia. Opponent, oh yeah, it's Gix again. Copy target artifact spell you control. This one might be a bit... As much as I like Drafna, this guy might be a bit expensive to land. We're gonna land the Arcane Signet first. So next turn, we can actually go Astral Cornucopia for 1, cast a Containment Construct or Drafna that way. We probably want to land a creature so we can start blocking. Because we are expecting a lot of Shadowborn Apostles. Bag of Holding, whenever you discard Exile, so Containment Construct also kind of works with that. We don't have a discard outlet right now. Well, this one does become a discard outlet, but it's a bit slow. I guess we do play Containment Construct. If our opponent plays Gix, we will chump block one of the Shadowborn Apostles. I don't feel comfortable giving them a full 7. I also want to make it harder for them to hit their 6 Shadowborn Apostles. So we got the Fairy, but we really want to cast Thought Monitor. Now I could spend some time, like say, cast a Bag of Holding, that drops its cost. Then we can cast Thought Monitor. Yeah, we'll go Thought Monitor first. Kinda need to draw the 2 cards. We might have to Phyrexian Metamorph into the Thought Monitor. Because we need even more cards. Starting to notice a team with the Urza decks. Also want to be on the lookout for... I definitely want to play Drafna just to get ourselves a start on... But now this might be a problem. Our opponent can easily go into a demon right now. Do I have a way to prevent it? Not... Draw a card and discard a card. That's interesting, but not really. Return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. Sounds like a plan. We will pay full price for the top. We could also copy their Gix. It will give us continuous card draw, give us another blocker for their stuff. I think I would rather copy their gigs instead. It's still an artifact also, which kind of is relevant here. We already played the land though, so I get we do have to play draft now. I could also just bag of holding, draw and discard. Like, what are cards that we don't really need right now? Now we do need bodies on the ground. So most likely our opponent just plays another Shadowborn Apostle, plays into a demon. The Gix deck might be too oppressive in the sense, like I don't think the uncommon deck has a chance. Being mono blue is an issue. I did not notice any. Oh, they did not choose to destroy. Oh, of course they wouldn't choose to destroy. Also, it doesn't help that a lot of our creatures are just sync 1 toughness. I would kill to have the stats reversed. We will have Urza Powerstone Prodigy. That one does have its stats reversed. Yeah.
To improvise.
Now we have to kind of hold back. I think our opponent does go for demon mode now. Not going for demon quite yet. Let's see how our opponent attacks. Nope. They just passed it? That was so weird. I would have gone for the demon right away. That one felt like a misplay. No, opponent is just... Also note that our opponent can activate it on their turn. But... So we're just gonna see... We also don't have a board wipe here, so we're gonna be drowning in Apostles. I think our opponent goes for a demon right now. Let's see which one they get. No, we're not going to let them convert that to another demon. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Yeah, Jeskai Elder feels really weird here. We don't exactly have an out to discard. We also lost our key to the city as well. We could make a Power Stone token, but what for? We do have... I could just sacrifice to return the cards back, which is also a decent deal. But we're probably gonna die to the Dreadfast Demon. I think I'll give it one more turn, but we're probably gonna concede at this point. Now, if our opponent's swinging all that, so that's no combat damage to us. Our opponent really wants to get rid of the fairy. We'll draw and discard.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
But we are going to use this opportunity to take out as many of these small guys as possible.
I've learned my lesson.
So if our opponent wants another Dreadfast Demon, they can sack Gix. Oh, they're forced to sack Gix. Oh wait, but they might also be able... They will discard 2 cards. And what do they hit? Mnemonic Sphere, not the worst. Got another Dreadfast Demon, but we... So let's see, what are our outs here? I could just cast this guy Vigilance Ward, but with a bunch of flyers, that's not gonna kind of pan out for us. What are cards we can get back? We can get back Metamorph. And copy their Dreadfast Demon. So it's going to be a Dreadfast Demon race at this point. Probably want to play a bunch of cheap creatures as well. So Jeskai Elder comes in. I kind of want to... I might as well actually discard. We do have Stern Lesson draw 2. Okay, we'll actually play this later. So sacrifice a non-demon creature. Gonna sacrifice Jeskai Elder. So now the game truly begins. Our opponent could just replay Gix, sacrifice Gix. So I want to be careful on how many Our opponent could also like... Well, these are not legendary. Huh? Okay, sige. So this might be an interesting battle here. Okay, they will be able to put a +1/+1 counter on this. So... But they are still forced to sacrifice it, so that's kind of meaningless here. And you might as well Stern Lesson now. Draw 2, discard a card. I could discard this, but we're making a token anyway, so we'll just discard that one. So bye-bye Gix, and here we go again. Also, we need to do an artifact sanity check here. Like, so 3 mana for this. That's good. We got a Moonsnare prototype. We can... Ooh. We can channel this to deny one of their cards. So that is a plan. We can also play this, draw quite a bit, and then discard 2. That's also a plan. We have enough mana to cast Suchi Cave Guard. When it dies, until end of turn. So I will have 8 mana, but nowhere to use it. No, thank you. So I definitely want to hold on to these instead. Kind of want to play another creature, but we... Yeah, also I want to hold on to prototype here, so we're gonna pass. But now we have a thought... But now because of Emery, we have a Oh, it also copied the artifact part? Oh my gosh. This might be an issue for our opponent. Now, it's also an issue for us because we are going to take 6. I actually want to see our opponent cast this first. We can bin the token. Call of the Death Dweller, gets a few Shadowborn Apostles down, sure. So we're gonna see who is left with the who's gonna be left with the last Dreadfast Demon. When thinking about it, I need him to actually swing. Yes, there we go. Oh, I should wrong one. It should have been the it should have been this. It should have been the token. I made a mistake there. I don't think I'm going to be casting the Cave Guard anytime soon, especially now that there's a Death Touch creature. Opponent concedes. So yeah, we would have gotten one swing in. We would still have another Dreadfast Demon. We delayed their draw by one turn at least. That was an unprecedented win, but I would say that the only reason we won was not because of our. It was because of our opponent's deck. I should thank our opponent for playing Gix. Anyway, we still have two more Urzas to go. It's also interesting. So somehow Urza Powerstone Prodigy works better here. No surprise that the older brother won in that case. But now we're gonna go Urza Prince of Krug. So what does our friend do? Artifact creatures you control get +2/+2, and you can pay 6 to create a copy of target artifact, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature, so it doesn't remove the legendary status. So maybe not Weatherlight, maybe not some of these maybe some of these other vehicles. This is a vehicle deck, so we're gonna have to play with that in mind. But there are a lot of artifacts here, so we know we are going wide. Can we go wide enough to win? Can we out-wide a Gix deck? Let's find out. I don't think we're gonna go up against another Gix deck again. That would be so. I would probably complain that if it's yet another Gix deck, that's boring. Let's see, Gix. My gosh, you all disappoint me. That said, we only need the blue much later, and so what we can do is we can start the aggro, hotshot mechanic. We probably will have to play Combat Treasure in prototype mode. Ideally, did we well, I suppose it gave us land types. Let's just play Tranquil Coal. We're gonna start trading the board. It's just to slow our opponent down a bit. I'm willing to give up the mechanic because we can't even wait. We could crew this one actually, but we're nowhere near casting it. Arcbound Mouser is an interesting one, but we are gonna go Combat Treasure here. And the land draw was actually quite good. Okay, this time our opponent takes. They most likely play turn 3 Gix. They will draw one card. We can. Oh no, they're just going to Doomblade the Treasure. Okay. Into another Apostle. That's not the worst. We got a Dancing Sword. We can equip it on the Combat Courier and then play Arcbound Mouser afterwards. We don't need to play the Urza quite yet if we do that. It also gives us a way to go wide, so actually we could have held back one creature. I'm supposing our opponent, they're really delaying. Scrap Trawler is put in the graveyard, return to your hand target creature with less value. Hotshot mechanic is an artifact. Unfortunately, it has to be lesser mana value, so we are not with these guys. We're not getting either of them back. So we'll play Urza. We'll swing with Arcbound Mouser because opponent now incentivized to play Gix into another Shadowborn Apostle. They are incentivized to swing also. They do really need to give up their board a bit. We're a long ways away from going Parhelion. I'm wondering how... If we hit 6 mana and we make a copy of an artifact, if we copy the Arcbound Mouser, for example, that's 2. You may reveal a historic card. I'm gonna swing with this one. Opponent trades, which is fine. Unfortunately, because of the way the triggers work, does this target? It targets, so we're forced to put it on the combat courier. And we do want the... Opponent does play Gix again, but they're basically aiming for the 7 mana. We're probably gonna... Okay, so this is a 3 and 2. This puts it in hand. Oh wait, it's crew 3, so I would have to give a combat courier to do this. Oh wait, no, cancel. Scrap Trawler first. And we'll play Archon Prototype as well. And opponent concedes. Looks like they were gonna take 10 damage. I don't think they might not have had the means to summon a demon quite yet from what they had in hand. They also did not have a way to punch through. Somehow I know Gix is a very good deck, but we've beaten 3 Gix decks already. Though admittedly, some of the times we won against Gix was because we were playing with their deck, but that's another story. Anyway, final deck up is Urza, Lord Protector, aka Meld Urza. So this one's gonna be a bit interesting to meld. So you can pay it. So it's 7 mana to get him to meld. Now the play sequence is interesting. You cast Urza on turn 3. You can then play Mightstone and Weakstone on turn 4 because of the 1 mana discount. And on turn 5, because at the least you have 2 mana from this, you can actually meld Lord. You can actually get Urza Planeswalker. So that's the dream. My concern is that this is a pure control deck through and through. We're going to be relying on our board wipes, and this is my first time actually looking at the deck. I've been seeing other people play the deck. Really concerned that there's only one Supreme Verdict. There is no other board wipes. There is some removal. Swords to Plowshares, Runic Shot, Fragment Reality, March of Otherworldly Light. But the Banishing Slash, Fateful Absence is okay. I'm actually more concerned about playing this one. I don't honestly think this is we're gonna need to line up everything carefully here. I would say that melding Mishra was probably the easier deal than melding Urza. Also note that there are moments of vulnerability. Opponent can respond by taking out Urza. Our only way of getting back Mightstone and Weakstone is to cast the Memory Half to shuffle our graveyard. That said, we're gonna be relying on a lot of these spells, so yeah, we're gonna keep this one. We got the 1-2-3 plan. We can start by investigating. Now, oddly enough, we're playing up against another Urza deck. Normally, you're supposed to be playing against Mishra decks, so that feels odd. Definitely will curate to draw. So we might have run out of Mishra players. Did we just go through all of them? This is definitely a... Okay... We're gonna... As much as I don't want to discard... We just kind of signal to our opponent that we have a mana issue. But let's see. Hercule, Master Wizard. If you cast a non-creature spell this turn... Oh well. 3 mana. 3 mana, 2/4. Probably just going to eat a removal spell if our opponent has it. No, opponent goes Urza Lord Protector. We could have gone Urza Lord Protector also, but we were in need of mana. Definitely gonna... cast Relic Amulet first. We want to put charges there. And we're going to plow Lord... We're going to cast Swords to Plowshares on Lord Urza. No one is plowing Lord Urza. That's not how it works. And reveal... For each type among non-creatures, you may put it among the reveal cards in your hand. Well, we're only missing out on 1 land. We're going to probably take the Memory Deluge. We could also take the Primal Amulet, make a lot of our stuff cheaper. I think I'll take the Memory Deluge. Oh wait, can we? Oh wait, we can get both. Sorry, opponent. I'm figuring that we also cast a Relic Amulet, so we do get that as well. Opponent goes Archmage Emeritus. We can still swing into that. I'm tempted to hold up Fateful Absence. Yeah, we're gonna hold up Fateful Absence. Our opponent's most... we're gonna mute our opponent and ignore him. Ignore them for the most part. You're playing a control deck too. And this is only at our end step, so... Not much of a plan there. Opponent ended up actually landing him in the yard too, so what gives? Did our opponent lose concentration? Or are they deciding if they want to... I think they might still be deciding if they want to put it back. Like, I can't click anything else. I think our opponent's just... our opponent might have just tanked. Well, if you're not... if you're not patient enough, and if you can't hold it in, you might as well just leave. Let's be fair. There is roping, in which case you just let the timer run out until because you just rage quit, you just alt F4 the game. Then there's just the impatience of like, oh come on, hurry up. No, that's not gonna happen. I do suspect what happened is that our opponent, in their impatience, ended up actually binning Urza Lord Protector. And now we are going to be reporting them. So let's capture the log, contact support. It's a shame that this is how the last game ended, but you have to know how to play control if you're going to do the control plan. If you can't control it, then don't. So we will play Primal Amulet first. We could play the post-deploy, but we'll wait on that. And we whiffed on this one. There are a lot of lands that we needed, so that's a bit of a shame. I think those all go to the... Yeah, they all go to the bottom. Let's see if our opponent's back. I have no faith, though. Then there's some people that are saying, oh, I wrote people who take too long. That just makes you the bad guy. That does not make you that makes you worse than the bad guy. That just makes you petty. Such people will never be successful in life. Now, let's be fair. It's also possible that our opponent might have just might literally be rushing because they had something else to do. You're playing. I think you chose the wrong. You might have chosen the wrong. You might have chosen the wrong commander for that style of gameplay. Well, that was a very fast win. I will say that to be fair, this was a bugged match because we're not supposed to be facing off against fellow Urza players. Maybe we ran out of Mishra players at that point. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. I did not expect to clear all 5 with this one. I definitely did not expect the wins with Uncommon Urza and Queen Kayla. I probably would give my recommendations. I would recommend the Uncommon Urza at least with some air quotes there. Maybe not Queen Kayla. That's a bit of a stretch. Anyway, that's going to be for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.